Welcome back. In this video we'll be looking at the viewer's question about the energy in the room. So, managing your energy. So I thought it would be a great idea to do a video on managing your energy and can the energy in a room affect you as a medium and your demonstration or your sitting. And the more and more I think on this subject, trying to squeeze it into a small video is just not going to be possible. So this will probably go over a number of videos. So firstly, we need to break down the basics. Let's get the foundation in place and how we are being taught to do mediumship. We are taught that we should go in and do mediumship this way, and there's no kind of leeway on that. And what we need to sort of understand is that for every demonstration, certainly every demonstration, is the differences between the localized areas. What I mean is that when I work in the Midlands, it's very different to when I work in London, to very different when I work in Devon. And then let's not even discuss abroad yet, you know, just these places within the UK, the difference in mediumship is very, very vast. Now, when I do some of the local venues to my local area, the standard of mediumship is a little bit lower. You know, I'm familiar with the grey-haired old lady that bakes cakes and she loves you. She's got grey hair and glasses and blah 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 blah. We've all seen those kind of demonstrations. However, when I start to travel a little bit further afield, the centres have put a little bit more effort into getting people into the church. There may be some like promotional stuff that's gone on there, advertising on the social medias. So you start to draw in maybe a few different people. And this will be because that they've seen the usual stuff that they go to week in, week out, and they've got bored with it. They tend not to go every week now, and they only come out every now and again, and maybe I'm one of those ones that they'll venture out for. So then what happens is I have to slightly adjust my mediumship. It's not the same everywhere I go. It's very, very different dependent on the people within the room. I will adjust accordingly, you know. So when I work in an area where I've been told, like, I've heard you're okay, if you're rubbish, I'll tell you you're rubbish. So I know that the standards needs to be a little bit higher, so I will push my mediumship a little bit harder. I won't just go for the location of where they're from, for an example. I will try and go for the exact area of where they're from, and maybe even their road name, their street name, their door number. I will go one step further. And that's because of the understanding of the congregation or the audience that I am working with. There is an expectancy there, and therefore I know I need to push my mediumship a little bit harder. And of course, it's accepted well. You know, the collective consciousness and understanding of mediumship is slightly higher. The people in front of me don't want to know when they're coming into money or when they're the man or woman of their dreams are around the corner. They are of an understanding that there is a life after life, and I want to see the evidence that you're going to bring forward of that. Therefore, the way that I've developed my mediumship needs to be very, very punchy. It needs to be very accurate and evidential, and with a flow to it. I mean, you can't just like pluck bits of information out of the air and then give it off with no storyboard as such. It needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. And therefore the communication will have value throughout the communication, leading into the message that will also reflect against the story that you have just spoken of. So of course, if I try to do this in a centre where there's not really much understanding, it's a Friday night and the girls have got together and they want to go and watch a medium, they believe a medium is someone that's going to say life's a little bit hard, chin up, the guy's around the corner, you'll meet each other in so and so, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. Then the collective consciousness of that group are not ready for an area, a street name, a door number. They kind of literally look at each other and go, what on earth's going on here? When's my man coming? When's my woman coming? When am I coming into money? When's my life going to get better? They don't understand. And so if I go out very accurate and very to the point, and give it this thread of life throughout the communication and into the message and this other stuff, they literally don't get it. They have no idea what it is that I'm doing. So that in the energy of the room will create a boundary. It will create like a stickiness. I can't move, and they're not willing and they're not on board with it. However, if I do that in somewhere that's of a high standard, they just want more, and the energy of the room lifts, and away we go. So our mediumship has to be presented to the capacity of the collective. So if there's 90 people in the room, I need to touch as many of those minds as I can, and it's just virtually impossible to touch every mind within that room because of the stages that they're at in their awakening or in their development. So the viewer's question was, does the energy of a room affect mediumship? Can it make mediumship bad? Absolutely, of course it can. But it's our workstation, and we very, very quickly need to adjust ourselves for the collective that's in front of us. So that may require, the viewer said, like some people I've been to watch use humour, and humour is a wonderful tool to get everybody a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more open to the idea. However, if they still only want to know when the man or woman is coming into their life, you're still not going to touch that. The humour would have been funny, but beyond that, it's wasted. The mediumship is wasted. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to take into account for the people that are in front of you. Now, this works on every level within mediumship. If I teach you here in Essex how mediumship is done and expected in Essex, then if you've travelled from way down south or up north, those mechanics are kind of not good, or that format of mediumship is not good. So the way I have to teach you is that it is adjustable. Everything, you need to add a statement there, or you need to give a bit more depth there, and give you the tools and the mechanics of your mediumship to go and get that information, to go that one step further, to deliver in the areas that you are living in, where you are from, and that collective consciousness. Now, last night I went to watch a trance medium, Mark Webb, a wonderful trance medium. I enjoyed the demonstration, it was very good. And he made a very valid point within that all the mechanics in the world are brilliant for mediumship, but it lacks something, and it lacks spirituality. And I have to agree with him. It's one of those things that is bringing down mediumship also. And what I mean by that is, I think my term is slightly different to that of Mark's, but if everyone's like, oh, it's so wonderful, and oh, it's love and light, oh, and it's fluffy unicorns on rainbows, etc., I think this is also damaging the spiritual community and mediumship in general. It's one of those things that it's breaking it because there's no credit within it anymore. We need to raise that standard or raise that bar while keeping spirituality, that God-like part of it alive, so people can feel it in the room. They are aware of it. They don't need the words. They can sense it for themselves. So to the viewer that asked the question, I hope this has answered it in some way, or certainly led on to answering it in some way. That your mediumship has to be adjustable. It has to be adjusted for London, to then be adjusted for Manchester. Those of you that are developing, you don't just learn mediumship and that's it, that's how I present it, and here we go. There's so many facets that are involved here. If I can give you all the mechanics in the world, and we can practice and practice and practice, but if you have no personality and you are trying to stand upon a platform and and do mediumship and present this to a collective audience stroke congregation, but your personality is somehow boring or it's just not coming across right, then like it or not, if that's the stage that you want, you have to adjust that personality. It doesn't matter what you think as the individual, it's what they think as the collective. And to spread that word, to spread that truth that life goes on from a public demonstration, then your personality has to change. Tough, it has to change, because you have to touch all of those minds. Now, my personality here in Essex is absolutely fine because this is my local area. This is what we do. We have a bluntness. We say it as it is. However, I need that adjusted when I go to Suffolk or when I go to Devon or even when I go abroad. The humour is completely different abroad, so I need to be careful and adjust, and then adjust the mechanics of the mediumship, then adjust the presentation of the mediumship for those of the people in front of me, so they understand what it is that I'm trying to do. So there is so much more than just this is how mediumship is and this is how you're going to accept it, like it or lump it. You won't be booked, you'll have bad audiences, you'll have bad dems, it won't work, it will become a bit of a chore rather than the love that you have for your spiritual development. So once again, I hope you've enjoyed this video. We've only just touched upon this. I'm sure many of you will have questions on this part of the video that you can punch into the comments and engage with me. Like it if you liked it, and share it, of course. Share it across your social media, because that helps the channel grow, which will make me produce more and more videos for you guys. As again, I'm going to try this thing with the end screen a few of you liked it, so I will place some suggestions here. This is the one that YouTube wants you to watch next, and I will just drop one in here. My little picture will be here somewhere. If you aren't already subscribed, remember to click it. And click that notification bell for all upcoming videos and live Q&As. There is a live Q&A coming up on March the 20th, and you can set the reminder if you are subscribed to the channel. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.